The church was packed that Sunday morning, rows of devoted followers, hands raised in prayer, eyes filled with adoration as they listened to the powerful voice at the pulpit. Pastor Jonathan Hale, respected, revered, a man of God, and a liar. Eleanor Hale, his daughter, knew that better than anyone. She sat in the front row, her hands folded neatly on her lap, pretending to listen, but her mind was elsewhere. She was angry, humiliated, burning with a need for revenge. Just a week ago, her father had stood in that very spot, using her as an example, calling her a sinner, labeling her a disgrace in front of the entire congregation. Why? Because she had been caught kissing a boy behind the church. To her father, it had been the perfect excuse to shame her, to remind her, and everyone else, that she was supposed to be pure, obedient, a reflection of his holy image. Eleanor clenched her fists. She had spent her entire life playing the role of the perfect daughter. But that was over now, because she knew a secret, and she was going to destroy him with it. Pastor Hale preached righteousness. He demanded perfection, but behind closed doors, Eleanor had seen the truth. She had noticed the lingering touches he gave to women in the congregation, the hushed whispers with young wives who sought his guidance, the way his gaze darkened when he looked at a woman too long. He wasn't as pure as he claimed to be. It started small, a change in the way she dressed. Gone were the modest skirts and high collars. Now Eleanor wore tight-fitting blouses that hinted at soft curves, skirts that rode just a little too high when she crossed her legs. She moved closer to him, pretending to be the obedient daughter again. "I want to be better, Father," she whispered one evening, stepping into his study. "I want to be redeemed." His Adam's apple bobbed as he swallowed hard. He cleared his throat, looking away. "We all have our struggles, Eleanor." But she saw it, the way his eyes flickered down her body, before he forced himself to look back up. Good. The game had begun. Weeks passed. Her touches became longer, her whispers softer. She accidentally brushed against him in the kitchen, let her fingers linger when she handed him his Bible. And one night, she walked into his study wearing only a silk nightgown. His breath hitched. "Eleanor, this is inappropriate." She stepped closer. "Why?" Her hands slid over his chest, feeling the hammering of his heart beneath his crisp white shirt. "Haven't you been watching me, Father?" His jaw clenched. "This is wrong." She tilted her head, lips grazing his ear. "Then why aren't you stopping me?" And he didn't. Because he couldn't. Because he wanted her. And when she pressed her body against him, he broke. The man who had called her filthy, the man who had shamed her in front of hundreds, now had his hands gripping her thighs, his mouth devouring her skin. And Eleanor let him. She let him sin. She let him fall. Because the moment he did, she reached for her phone and pressed record. The next morning, Eleanor sat in the church again. But this time, she wasn't the one being humiliated. The entire congregation was silent. Gasps filled the room as the screen lit up. A video of Pastor Jonathan Hale, tangled in sin, his hands all over his own daughter, his voice begging, his lips whispering things that no holy man should ever say. And Eleanor? She sat smiling, because her father had spent his life exposing sinners. And now, he was the biggest sinner of all. Game over, Pastor Hale.